Alright guys, this is going to be kind of a crazy video. We are going to be going over all of the new locations and areas and changes to the map that went down in Fortnite this morning, and it is way more than you think. So obviously right here, we've got the Dusty Divot, and that's the biggest change that we have. And you guys have seen some of my other videos, check it out, like the secret villain base, the secret superhero base. We'll touch on those in this a little bit. But in total, I think there are around 15 new locations that I've personally found on this map, and there could be more than that. So if you guys happen to know of one that isn't mentioned in this video, feel free to leave it down in the comments. Maybe I can do an update to this later, but seriously, there are a ton of new locations, tons of new opportunities to grab a loot. Almost all of these spawn multiple chests, and it's seriously really crazy. So we're going to go through, and I figured the best way to be able to do this would just be to kind of zoom around with the camera here. Like, we could try to do it in-game, but then you worry about people shooting at you and stuff. This allows us to kind of link everything together. You can see where everything is, and we can see exactly what we're looking at. So I think this is going to work better. So anyway, starting off with the giant Dusty Divot here. I mean, I'm sure you guys have landed here already. All around the outside, you have the anti-gravity stones. You've got Dusty Depot up here, which is still partially together. You can actually get a lot of loot up here and then shoot down at the people inside the crater, which is kind of a good idea half the time. You've got chests up in the towers. You've got some in some of these rooms and stuff. You've got this internal area with the giant rock and stuff. It's a pretty cool area, but like I said, I'm sure you guys have been here, so I don't want to bore you by staying here for too long. Next up, let's move to the second biggest change that they've made. They introduced Risky Reels, which is kind of like a drive-in movie theater out here. It's kind of in an area where we didn't really spend a lot of time before. There were a few like farmhouses and stuff, but nobody ever really spent any time out here. But you guys can see we've got a drive-in theater here. A Revenge of Breeze Dog Part 2. It came from Moisty Meyer. What is it? An ant story. It came from Moisty Meyer. That sounds a little bit naughty. But anyway, yeah, this is kind of where the opening cutscene took place with Rustlord when the meteors were coming through the giant screen and stuff. This is a good spot. They've actually got a green screen room. Is it in this building? Yeah, it's in this building. Look at this. This is cool. And you can actually get your character up against it and actually green screen it in editing. So that's going to be cool for content creators. But lots of spot for chests and stuff like that. And overall, this is a pretty solid area that I haven't noticed a lot of people going to yet. So definitely make sure you guys check it out. This reminds me of an old Black Ops map. What was the name of the Black Ops map that this was based off of? Was it Black Ops? I don't really remember. But yeah, we've got this. Now, if we move on, we're going to go kind of like a counterclockwise direction. We're going to go past all these old houses. We're going to go past Anarchy Acres over here. And there are a bunch of new kind of like mini craters all over the map. And at first glance, you might think that these aren't really that useful, but honestly, they are. They always have chests around them, usually one, sometimes two or three. This one has 2, 3. Look at that. 3 chests right in a row, as well as you can actually pick up the anti-gravity shards. So like if you're looking for a spot to land, probably pretty much solo, you want to get some metal from breaking these rocks, it's honestly not a bad place to land. There's always a lot of loot to go around. So make sure you check these out. We've got a few other ones I'll mention in the future. Now, if we go on to Junction over here, this is the normal Junction, and this area is entirely new. Now, it doesn't have a name or anything, but it looks like it's some sort of a TV set. You guys can see we've got some bleachers here. This is where they're filming inside a house of some sorts, and it's kind of interesting. Chest up in the corner, chest up here. There's a chest out here in the truck, I believe. So, again, some of these new spots, kind of off the beaten path. Most people aren't going to come out here, but if you landed here right now, you would have had 4 chests and a bunch of ammo boxes to yourself. It's a little bit, far outside of the map, but that's definitely not a bad look. Now, if we keep on heading this way, we are going to get to the first, like, super big thing that we have, which is the villain base. I'm really excited about this. I think it's an awesome new addition. In the side of this mountain over here. Actually, I guess we should talk about this crater first. So again, another one of these craters. We've got 2 chests here and a third one back there. You can pick up some shards and do your, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy how many chests have been added in here. So make sure you guys don't forget about these craters. They're good spots. This one's right next to Haunted Hills or to Snobby Shores. Now, moving on to originally what I was talking about, we've got our villain nuke silo. Definitely very clearly a villain silo here. Kind of looks like a very ominous looking face. We've got the missile coming out of the top. We've got mission control in here. We've got a pool area with a chest in it. That's kind of interesting. We've got like all these little nooks and crannies and shafts you can go through. We've got a hospital back here, another chest there. It is crazy how many chests you can get out of these new locations. Absolutely nuts. You can actually go underneath the rocket, which is kind of cool. There's nothing down here, but there you guys have it. That is the villain bunker. We'll talk about the hero bunker more towards the end. Now moving on, if we go this way, around this big old mountain over here, we're gonna come up kind of in between Snobby and Greasy. We've got this, which my last video was on this. We've got a giant dinosaur footprint crater. Again, a pretty good spot. We've got a chest at the back of the truck, a chest sometimes, yeah, right here. And then we also have a chest up here. So another spot here out in the middle of nowhere with 3 chests. If you land there, you're going to be pretty well looted and you're going to be able to move on to the local hotspots like Greasy rather than fighting over the few chests that are in Greasy. You know what I mean? Just make sure you guys keep these in mind. But yeah, kind of an interesting spot. I don't know. It's hopefully a sign of what's to come. Now, if we move on to Tilted, we don't necessarily have like a big change here. A comet did destroy this middle building, so it does switch up the gameplay a little bit. There's less cover in the middle. You can grab the crystal super jump shards out of there, low gravity shards, whatever you want to call them, and you can, you know, kind of maneuver around Tilted a little bit better. Kind of interesting, but really, honestly, nothing too crazy. I don't think this one, honestly, I haven't visited this. But I think this is a crater that didn't add any chests to it, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, I don't see any chests, so might want to stay away from this one. It doesn't really seem to be that good. If we back up here, we're going to go over to Shifty. This one's really, really interesting, and this is kind of a shout out from Epic to all the streamers and YouTubers out there, I think. So in this house, we've actually added a basement. So you can come down to this basement and look at this, boys. We've got a chest down here, and we've got a full setup. A chair, a computer, a giant microphone, a camera on him. This is pretty cool. I mean, it could be just like a scene from The Office or something, but it also, to me, kind of looks like it'd be like a YouTuber's setup, which I think is kind of cool. We've got the giant meteor painting up there, and then we've got nothing back behind the stairs. There are going to be a couple houses coming up. You guys will see. We've got extra bonus levels behind the new basements that they've added. It gets kind of crazy. All right, my next one that I've got is we are going to be going to Salty, and this one actually is one of those ones I was just talking about. So the blue house in Salty is already one of the best places to land. There's 2 or 3 spots for chests, decent amount of loot to be had in here, but now it's been improved even more. So if you come in and you go downstairs, you guys can see we've got our first kind of like section of downstairs. We never had this before. We've got a bathroom in here with a chest in it. Kind of cool, right? Well, this isn't where it ends. If you come back behind this, there's actually another hole in the floor and the stairs keep going. You can come down another couple flights and look at this. We've got a secret mission control bunker down here. Chest in the corner, chest over by the weights. It's not a chest in the showers, but if you're feeling stinky, you could totally take a shower. Dude, are you kidding me? So this just went from a 2-chest house to potentially like a 5 or a 6-chest house, which is absolutely nuts. So obviously, don't sleep on Blue and Salty. This is a great spot to land. Moving on here, we are going to be going to Fatal Fields, and we've actually got the Fatal Crater right over here. I couldn't remember which side it was on. But again, these craters are usually good spots to go. You can get all of those shards. 1, 2, and 3 chests. Literally, all of these outside crater areas have had 3 chests, which is insane. So we have lots of great places to land now. From there, we are going to be going over towards the prison. The prison has actually been destroyed as well, kind of like Tilted was. There's a brand new crater right in the middle of it, as you guys can see here. This one did not add any other chests. You don't have any of the vehicles and stuff here, but still kind of interesting. So, I mean, the prison used to be lots of tight corners, and honestly, I really liked it. I had a lot of fun here, especially when the circle ended here. There's now not really a whole lot to prison. Actually, I take that back. We totally have 2 chests right there. And a 3rd one in the back. That is so insane, dude. Now, granted, the prison lost a bunch of chests in the middle areas, but still, this is crazy how many chests end up spawning in these areas. This is absolutely nuts. All right, from here, we're going to be moving on to Moisty. Some of you guys may have seen this new area in my Fortnite letters video. So Moisty used to be just a wasteland with a little treehouse in the middle. Now it's a full-on movie set. So we've got like the refreshments areas and the hangout areas back here. We've got like a little kind of like makeshift huts and shacks and stuff with chests. We've got this giant green screen here with a Huey helicopter that's been trashed. And this is where you get that Fortnite letter if you want it. You can go back behind the green screen. Sometimes there's a chest that spawns back here. Really interesting stuff, man. Like, this is finally a place that's like kind of halfway interesting to land. A lot of the mud has been removed, so you're not going to be as slow running through it. And overall, it's a much better spot than what it was before. We've got a couple left right up the east side of this map. Again, these craters out in the middle of nowhere. 1 chest, 2 chests, 3 chests. I almost feel like these are always spawning 3. Like, a lot of places will kind of like sometimes have a chest and sometimes not. I've got a feeling these are like consistently spawning 3, which is kind of crazy. So we've got the crater just outside of the motorcycle track, just east of retail. And then finally, last but not least, you guys have seen this in my other video, but I'll make a quick cameo here. We've got the new mansion on the outside of retail. It's got a gym upstairs with chest opportunities. It's got kind of like a full house here, and then you can go down to the bottom floor where it's got a secret bunker with chests and all kinds of goodies. You've got this back layer back here to park your private jets. You've got this superhero mask right here, which is kind of cool, and all kinds of cool stuff going on. This is insane, dude. All of these places are so good. Like, you could get so many chests on the map now in so many random areas that if you want to start off a match kind of a little bit slow, you don't want to be fighting everybody for the hot spot, there are so many places you can go now, get a bunch of loot, and just be in a good spot to start off. Like, land here at this crater, grab that loot, then go to this house, grab that loot, then go to retail, or maybe house, crater, retail is probably the better kind of like way to go, the better route. You're gonna be completely looted, ready for endgame at that point, and you're just gonna be destroying people. So really, really cool stuff. If I missed any that you guys have found, please let me know down in the comments. But please use these to your advantage, guys. Like, these are really, really great spots that you definitely want to remember and impress your friends with. So hope you guys enjoyed. Drop a like in the video if you guys did. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm gonna see you guys later. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.